This is our report. This is the project that is getting going, and really I wasn't trying to solicit endorsements for it previously. However, we just got this going this last year, funded by the Commission, Washington Red Raspberry, and the Northwest Center. So what we're doing is putting in some fairly sizable trials of the new selections on various different farms. And the overall goal is to accelerate the commercialization. I think over the next 5 to 10 years, this is a huge factor. So why? It's because you guys need, we all need faster, more reliable information on options. 100 to 250 plants per trial. So we've got enough coming off these that we can actually run them through the trials. Run them through the tunnels. It's the same thing with any information. The more information we can get to everybody, the better business decisions you guys can make. The nurseries have a hard time knowing what to propagate, what the demand's going to be, what people want to put in trials, so this will also help them. And it'll help the breeding programs. Obviously, we get the circle going so they get more information on what's going on. Everybody wins. We've actually got 5 different categories. The only 2 I'm going to talk about today are the processing ones. And you can see the folks there who have been involved in getting this set up. Don, I think you're on every single list. And this is great. It's a real cooperative effort. It's funny, you're out there somewhere, right? There you are. And this is where we are. You can see we're going to leave these in the ground for 4 years. So right now we've just got the first one in the ground last year. Right up here, these 3. There's a button there somewhere. These 3 are in the ground now. We won't get a lot of fruit off them this next year, but in a couple of years, basically when they get to their junior class, they'll be in the ground 2 to 3 years, we'll start getting some good-sized fruit. These 2 are going to go in the ground this next year, and so you can see we'll get the whole thing going. And hopefully we'll get some of them to graduate. Evaluation process is not going to be hard numbers. It's going to be more like this. The things that we can do quicker. And this is an example, just from this last year. We'll be able to give you some better comparisons between our standards and some of the new stuff coming out. Obviously, the big one right now is Columbia Star. And you can get a real idea how they compare.
Why do you have the long berries and short berries? That's just the difference within the variety, or is that 2 different varieties?
No, that's just the difference in the variety. This I did kind of quick and dirty. It really isn't from the trials we're doing, but as an example, once we start getting fruit, we'll be able to pull some samples to give you, it is basically my judgment of typical berries. And then again, this is going to take a couple of years to get going. Then hopefully, if it pays off, if it's worth it, we'll keep it going, ongoing. And we'll be able to distribute better fact sheets and information to everybody about these new things coming up. preliminary stuff, but most of you have heard about Columbia Star. This is the type of thing we'll be able to do more with more data as we go on. Julie, you're not even keeping track of my time.
Tom, you were well past it right to the end.
That's because others used my time.
You snooze, you lose.
Columbia Star's looking fantastic. I think most of you have heard this. The main concern, we just don't have enough experience with it in the fields. If we had had this program going 2 years ago, right now I'd be able to give you better data about how it's doing. The other one that is looking good, and I think Tim's got this and a few others if you want to talk to them, but it just went in the ground. Newberry, you've heard Chad talk about these things too. If you got any comments, let me know, Chad. Well, this time. This is very preliminary. Third one is, it looks good. If we didn't have Columbia Star, it'd probably be getting a lot more play, but I'd hold off on that. Or you can always put in a test plan to see how it would do. Very good, excellent fruit. And these are the ones that we're just putting in. And again, this is material coming out. We don't know if it's going to work out or not, but at least we're going to develop more information on it quicker. It's very late, 2 weeks later than Marion. It's a chance to look at some season extension. And this one probably will go more toward fresh market, mainly because it's thorny. But we'll see. It appears to be machine harvestable. It's very erect growing. It might give us some options on material that would be easier to train up. Okay. Just some of the stuff from the raspberry end of things. These things got going a year earlier. So these been in the ground, the 4 of them. I'll go through this fairly quickly, so you get the idea. It gives you a comparison. This is the new one that's just been released, or just named, Cascade Harvest. Looks excellent right now, but we'll see. They went in that year, here they are. Again, Cascade Harvest looks like good root rot tolerance. I think Dave will talk to it too. But there certainly is market demand for raspberries if we can get some decent root rot tolerance. You could certainly sell the fruit. And again, you guys can talk to me later if you'd like. Certainly I'd recommend those guys. Rudy comes on very early. Probably get it off before Duke harvest. You got blueberries. And I'd hold off on those other two yet. We've got a couple that just went in the ground for these major plantings, and again, I won't dwell on these, we don't have the time right now anyway, but we'll have more information on this later. Squamish is a new one out of BC. It looks like a very good fresh market Malahack replacement. You'd want to look into that if you are into fresh market raspberries. And then we got 4 WSU selections that are going to go in this coming year. And again, we're rushing some of this stuff probably, but I think this will all be to our advantage to get a good look at this. And the last slide, or just about, let's go back. This is a sibling of Columbia Star, and that's actual size. It's about 50% larger than Columbia Star. It's just an amazing size vary. Probably not processing, but it sure would be fun to see it in the ground. And this is in our trials this coming year. What was that, Jim?
That's a 2 in a package.
Yeah.
You could give them chocolate.
Yeah.
If you want to participate or are interested in possibly having some of these trials on your farm, give me a call or email.